Yeah, it is day four, isn't it? uh, yes. Yeah, it's weird going to sleep when it's daylight. Because last night I was so tired, I went to bed at like five, and it was just like, oh, okay, I'm going to bed at 5 o'clock, and it's daylight, and the sun sets like in my bedroom as it comes into the window, and I'm like, oh no. But I slept straight away, so obviously just too tired. Yeah, I think because the triathlons have just messed me up a little bit because it was on at 10:30, so I got about must have got 5 hours in I think before that, and then I had that other like hour and a half before the swimming after that, and then I kind of had a little snooze about 4 o'clock when the hockey was on. So I must have had about 7 or 8 hours in total, which is probably the most I've had since it began. I think we should. Yes, well, we said, didn't we, that she was one to look out for, and I was so pleased that she won it because she's like dominated the sport for so long, and yeah, and she's obviously not won an Olympic medal before, and Bermuda haven't won one since 1976. So, and it was their first gold. Yes, exactly. So, yeah, this was historic day for Bermuda and a worthy winner. Someone. It's nice when you see someone who you think deserves to win it, wins it. Well, I can hear you.
I don't think it's working
I
properly on
don't.
stream.
Okay.
Right, I think I fixed it. Sorry if I've been silent for the last few minutes and you've just had Chris
Just like me
and
droning on. Yeah.
but yeah, I was saying for Flora Duffy, she's it's weird that I would often like not root against the British athlete, but perhaps root for another athlete more. And I think that I
Yeah.
was kind of doing that with Flora Duffy. As happy as I was for Georgia Taylor Brown, and I would have been delighted if she'd got a gold. I love seeing a new country get an Olympic gold medal.
Yeah. Same. It's so important for the Olympics as a whole, and I think when Georgia got her puncture, it was like it was obvious then that she could realistically maybe only get a medal. It wasn't like I think the gold was kind of out of grasp by then. So I don't think she would have caught or stayed with Flora for the run anyway.
No.
Um, but she did obviously make up a lot of time and did do so well to get through for that silver.
Yeah, it's. She was saying on her interview with the BBC that she was. She sort of went into panic mode, but it didn't really show watching her race that she seemed to sort of handle it very calmly, very sensibly. I think it was about 2 kilometers out from the finish of the cycle that it happened, and she decided that she was better off to just stay cycling, like stay on that tire and just get to the transition zone, and it paid off. And it was she pretty easily bridged the gap to the rest of the field.
Yeah, yeah, she did. It didn't take her that long really to catch up with them, and then she managed to pull away a little bit. Her and the American were kind of tussling for a while, but she just still pulled a fair way ahead of her. And then I guess we should mention Spirig of Switzerland, who was like way back, and
Yeah,
then managed to come through and was sixth in the end. But I mean, she's what 39, mum of three, former champion and silver medalist in Rio. It'd been nice. I'd have liked to have got the bronze. That would have been the perfect podium,
yeah.
and then it would have completed the set for her. But I was equally pleased with the American, who seems to be. I think she's trained with the British team quite a lot, and she seems quite good friends with them. So yeah, it was a nice podium, and everyone was so happy afterwards. They're all hugging and
Yeah,
celebrating with each other. It was just like, oh, this is what a sport can be like. You can be so warm and happy.
I suppose that triathlon's one of those sports that they travel together so much that they will know each other so well that there is probably going to be quite a lot of solidarity between them, and rightly so.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it was a good way to start the day.
Yes. And yep, starting off the day with a British silver medal. We then got uh, we got another silver medal and a gold medal over in the swimming.
It
Um, it wasn't. We were hoping for a gold medal in this race and maybe another medal. It didn't necessarily go to the people we thought that they would.
Yeah, it was meant to be Duncan Scott first, Tom Dean second,
Yeah,
but but it was the other way around. And to be fair, it probably should have been that way around. I think Duncan just got in front, but then just didn't quite nail the finish. It was literally the last stroke. where he was just a little bit too far away and had to glide in that little bit more, and then Tom just nailed it. And so yeah, you can tell Duncan was a little bit annoyed because it should have been his. He's been the 200-meter freestyle guy for a good, 3 or 4, maybe 5 years now, from a British point of view, and Tom was kind of only really come on the scene in the last year or two. So yeah,
Yeah, it seemed
four
that
hundreds.
Duncan didn't know how to process it because, of course, he got a silver medal, which he was sort of happy with, and his friend got a gold medal, which he was happy with. But you could tell that he wanted that gold. I hope that, I hope that he does get a gold in these Olympics.
Yeah, me too. I really hope the 4x2 guys win the gold. But this was a great race. It was one of those ones where Huang, the Korean, just went for it. Obviously, it didn't pay off because he came seventh, but he was still leading with 30 meters to go. And then Tom came past, and he knew Duncan always finishes strong, but he just he kind of did catch up with Tom, but instead then messed up the finish. And the Brazilian in lane 8, he was the one who got the bronze. It was just like, oh, okay, that was unexpected too. So, and fourth place was lane 1. So medals the rest of the field were a little bit all over the place, but I think they are the 2 fastest in the world this year anyway. So there's no surprise that it was the 1-2, but maybe just the other way around than we were expecting.
Yeah, I think the Korean going out quite early actually really helped Tom in that he had someone to go with. I think that sort of set him off for a slightly faster pace than he would have done otherwise, and then as a result, he just had that bit more that Duncan had to catch up with in the final stages of the race.
And then we should probably say that Tom Dean has had COVID not once but twice. So impressive for him to have over a year of disruption and health issues like that, and then to still come and win a gold at the Olympics.
And also in the swimming, oh, that's not going well. That's not what. Oh, I pressed fencing apparently.
One day you'll get the hang of this.
One day. How did I press fencing? That was.
I have no idea.
There was nowhere near where I was. Anyway, yeah, we had Kaylee McKeown in the. I said that weirdly. In the women's 100 meter backstroke. Kylie Mass looked quite annoyed to not have won the gold.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she had such a good semi, but I still think Kaylee was going to win that. I think she was still the favourite. It was an Olympic record. She was still quite far ahead. But that was the podium I was expecting. They were the 3 we kind of said yesterday, and I guess probably in that order. I mean, Regan Smith is better over the 200, and I think that was kind of a fair podium of what we expected. And the other American, White, was also pretty good, and Seaborn gave it a good shot. She's been around for a long, long time now, and obviously Kathleen Dawson was there in 6th place.
Yeah, and then Russian Olympic Committee getting gold and silver, another 1-2 in the swimming.
Again, it was like same as the Brits. It was the 1-2 we were expecting, but the other way around. It was meant to be Kolesnikov who won it. He was the star man, and the favourite. And again, 200s. It was another. It's just like a carbon copy of that men's too. It was just like, oh, well, he's going to win it. Oh no, he's not. He's not going to win it. And Rylov came up from lane 2. So, same. I guess it was a similar result, but then the other person won, and Ryan Murphy did so well to get the bronze as well. I thought he was in a tough race there, but
yeah.
Again, probably the podium we were expecting. I mean, I thought Mitch Larkin might pull something out the bag in the final, but obviously didn't. So.
But then we finally started getting some fast times from the finals. It seems that they started getting used to these morning finals.
Definitely.
Which have obviously been a bit of a shock, and I don't think many of them are too experienced doing that, I wouldn't say.
No, I mean, I guess only, the likes of Pellegrini were around for Beijing. So, but it's they've had long enough to get used to it. I know that Kathleen Dawson's been doing it, like practicing finals in the morning and stuff in training. So
I mean, it's not like it's a surprise that's been sprung on them. They've had it was at least 2019 that this was announced that they'd be doing morning finals, if not earlier.
And then this was the 100 breaststroke was the big shock in the pool today. It was meant to be the head-to-head between Lily King and Tatiana Schoenemaker, and then Jacobi wins it.
Yeah.
What? You're not going to win this? maybe a bronze. But yeah, the head to head, it looked like the South African was going to win it. I was like, oh great, she's good. Oh no,
Yeah, she was
another
looking
American
so
coming
good
through.
after the first 50.
So again, that was another upset in a way. It was it was a good race though, and she's only 17, so I guess when you're that young, you can just drop your time that much and do a surprise like that.
Yeah, I think there's also just a bit of a fearlessness when you're that young. You've got nothing to lose, and you probably look back at like the American stars in the pool over the last couple of Olympics on the women's side. They've all been teenagers.
Yeah,
So Missy Franklin, Ledecky.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Mona McSharry there for Ireland, getting in the final, which is the great result for Ireland.
Yeah,
A real talent.
yeah. It feels like so long since I've seen an Irish swimmer in the final.
Yeah, no, she's done well.
I hope that the last time wasn't you know who.
I think it probably was for Olympics. They're obviously having, I think they're having Europeans, definitely in Europeans, maybe even worlds, but yeah,
The Olympics are another ball game.
exactly.
Uh,
And that was that all the finals.
that was all of the finals. Do you want to have a quick look at the semi-finals?
Yeah, we may as well to see. I can't quite remember what we've seen today.
So it's been a long day. So this was the 200-meter butterfly. Chad le Clos winning his semi-final, doing his classic sort of looking around, sort of not wanting to do more than he has to do, even if it's probably not the best way to race.
Yeah, but he obviously was in lane 8, so he had to do a better performance today. If you click on results summary, that's where you see everything in.
Wait, where's the results? Oh, there, right. Beautiful. And then Milak of Hungary having the fastest qualifying time there.
Yeah, I think he is the favourite for gold. I can't see anybody, I can't see anybody getting close to him. Just be how fast he can swim. Really, he's a massive talent, and yeah, he deserves to win. He's the guy who's been leading the world for the last 2 years. So
Yeah, and if you're over 2 seconds ahead in the semi-finals, you'd bloody well hope you win in the final.
Yes, I think it'll be a good race. I think Chad will be in or around the podium. Maybe Kenda Reese will get up there as well.
Yeah, a strong showing for the Hungarians in this event.
Yeah, because their team's not as strong as it used to be. When you think back to Rio and around that time, even the Europeans in London that year were winning everything. It just seems like Hossey's kind of just fallen off a little bit. A few of the older ones, whereas Milak is leading that new generation, but they need a little bit more depth, I think.
Yeah, they're probably just in the middle of a transition phase, and they're sort of just looking to sort of replace those people who are just getting on a bit. So yeah, good for Milak to be leading that charge. And then we didn't look at the women's 200 semi-finals. I'll get the results summary up.
This is going to be absolutely stacked. This is probably one of the toughest and highest quality races we've got at these games.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm supporting Siobhan Hawley here.
The Irish Hong Kong athlete.
Yeah. It is such I know that she is of Irish background, but it's such an Irish name.
Yeah. I mean, I think she can win it. I think she might even win it. But then you do think Titmus is the favourite. It's Titmus Ledecky again, isn't it, head to head? But again, this literally anyone can win this race. It's that. I mean, look at the people that didn't make the final.
Yeah.
You've got Freya Anderson, incredible. Alison Smith, former champion. The little teenager, 14-year-old Summer McIntosh, who was fourth in the 400. You know, they didn't even make the final. And then you've got Pellegrini, obviously a legend of. She's been competing in the Olympics since Athens in 2004. Alexiak, obviously talent. Simonova, European champion. Oh, it's just like literally could go anywhere. But I think Hawley will be the one that will surprise if anyone's going to surprise.
Were they in the? Oh no, they were in the same heat this morning. Yeah, so Hawley went out very hard, but I don't think she. I think she did start resting up in the final phases of the race. So I do think she has more to give here.
Yeah, I agree. I think Titmus was definitely finishing stronger, but I think Hawley was holding something back.
Yeah. And the other one that we had to look at was the women's 200 IM. which results summary.
which is good for the Brits.
Yeah, Abbey Wood, not to be confused
she-
with the Crossrail station.
Yeah, I think she definitely swam better today. Went out for it, but I mean, it's going to be tough for her to win it. I think she can get a medal for sure, but again, it's quite wide open, this one.
Yeah, I mean,
Ho-
you go.
Hoster only just squeezed in, defending champion. Alicia Wilson, obviously, last one in there, you can see. Sydney Bickerham's in there as well.
And then
Ohashi,
Ohashi,
obviously.
400 IM gold medalist.
And it is very close on times as well. But yeah, she's going to be one of the centre lanes, which I think is probably a good thing, actually, because I think she needs to be in the race.
Yeah, she's have a better idea of what her rivals are doing, and hopefully some of them will help string her along a bit.
Yeah, hopefully.
And so moving on from the swimming, what sport do you want to discuss next?
So, yeah, I was just going to check what time that final is tomorrow, just so you can mark your card. I've got my guide here. It is at, which one is it? 200 IM. What day are we on? We're on, I'm looking at the wrong day.
So it'll be on Wednesday the 28th.
Yeah, 3:45 that final is. And then the women's 200 freestyle is at 2:41, the one that we kind of flagged up. And obviously the men's relay, 4x2, is at 4:26, which hopefully will be another goal for Great Britain, because we didn't qualify fastest, I think. So, yeah, and we didn't mess around in the heats. We pulled Matt Roberts out of the 100. He didn't start the heats of the 100 freestyle because we wanted to make sure we made the final. So Callum Jarvis will be the one that will be taken out of the team for Duncan Scott, who was rested. Obviously, with James Guy and Tom Dean already in there. I mean, we've got the 1-2 in the individual.
Yeah.
James Guy's a former world champion at this distance. And obviously, Matt Roberts is our 100 leader. So, yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, it can happen.
Yeah, I mean, the 4x2 has been a strong event for Britain since about 2015 or so. Yes. But I really wouldn't want to bet against Britain at the moment. And I'm going to touch wood as I say that, because that kind of scares me when I say something as bold as that. But we are the ones to beat here.
Yeah, I agree. And hopefully we can do it, because it'd be nice for James Guy to get a gold medal. Like we said, Duncan Scott to get a gold medal. I just feel like they deserve one.
Yeah, and you could see the team dynamic when Duncan Scott was just absolutely blubbering at the British one too. So if he could just be part of a gold medal alongside them, that would be something amazing.
Yeah, so fingers crossed that can happen. And just as mentioned of the other heats that we had earlier on or later on, Jacob Whittle, the 16-year-old, just squeezed into the semi-finals in 16th place. And then the same in the men's breaststroke, the 200-meter breaststroke. James Wilby and Ross Murdoch were literally 15th and 16th into the semis. So, yeah, hopefully they can, at least swim a bit quicker in the semi-finals tomorrow.
Yeah. Should we? What takes your fancy? What sport next?
Let's do. What was the next in the order? I feel like we should maybe mention.
Well, we've had rugby sevens is going on throughout the day.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. Let's do the rugby sevens, because that was early and late.
Yeah, because Britain got their first loss of the tournament against Fiji, which perhaps to be expected. Fiji were Olympic champions, beat Britain in the final in 2016. But then it didn't. It wasn't. Britain then did win their quarterfinal match, but it was an uphill battle. They were 21-0 down just before the end of the first half. So it was a bit of a slog to get back to a winning position there.
Yeah, we were playing terribly in that first half.
Yeah.
No other way about it. It was pretty shocking, but we got it together, got the win. And yeah, when actually are the semi-finals? I was trying to work out exactly when they are. So it'll be in the morning, won't they? Like overnight-ish?
Yeah, I think I.
Let me have a look on the app. Hang on one sec.
Let's see if I can get it up.
It's a race to find out when they're
that just brings up today. Tomorrow. So Britain playing New Zealand at 11 a.m. Tokyo time, so 3 a.m. British time, and then gold medal match will be at 10 a.m. UK time, and the bronze medal match at 9:30.
Okay, so we'll definitely be in one of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, but obviously the semi will probably clash with a bit of the swimming there, but it looks like that we'll be able to watch it when there's like semi-finals and medal ceremonies going on, hopefully. So that should be good. I mean, New Zealand obviously didn't win a medal last time, so they'll be wanting it because it is obviously the sport they dominate. But yeah, it'd be nice to get another win and get another place in the final.
Yeah, and nice to see Argentina up there in the top 4 as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd say they're perhaps the least fancied of the 4 there, but you know, you get to the semi-finals, you've got on paper as good a chance as anybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I guess I'll just quickly mention the women's football team. Was it 1-1 against Canada? It was a late goal for Britain to.
I was going to say, when I looked, they were 1-0 down.
Yeah, they got one towards the end in the last 5 minutes.
Oh, well, that's good news then. Yeah, 1-0 versus Canada.
Yeah.
So that does put Britain top of the group.
Yes, it was the Scottish girl that scored it because Andy Murray was tweeting about it. He was obviously watching. Yeah, that was. I mean, I guess I'll just quickly mention some other results like was it the cycling mountain biking that was on today, wasn't it?
Yeah, we got a Swiss sweep of the medals. I think that's the first sweep of 2016 for a single country. 2016, I don't even know what year it is. It's 2021, but Tokyo 2020. And
yeah, and we had a 7th place in Britain, so
yeah, it was
a good race.
Yeah, I think she was briefly up there in the top 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. It was obviously a little bit more treacherous today because of the rain they had this morning, so not as good a conditions as the men had, but
yeah, they didn't.
Still, yes, Swiss dominate this event anyway, so
yeah, they've got the mountains to get their bikes on.
Yes.
Taekwondo.
Yeah, let's do some taekwondo.
If I've done this right anyway, no, I still need to get me there. So Mohamed Cho for Great Britain went out in the round of 16, so disappointing for him. We were willing on the Chinese guy in his rounds in the hopes that Cho would get to the repechage, but alas, that did not happen.
No, that's a shame.
Then Chris's past podcast guest Bianca Walkden, she had a pretty solid competition going prior to the semi-final.
Yeah, I mean, because there were only 15 in the draw and she was the top seed, she actually got a bye, so she didn't compete in the morning. She went straight in cold into the quarterfinals, which she was a little bit behind in that quarterfinal at the start. She was still trying to get into it, but she came through that and won. And then the big one was the semi-final, which was like ridiculously close. It was literally there was never more than a 3-point gap, I don't think, throughout the whole bout. And it was just unfortunate that she got quite a lot of penalties, and yeah, she was leading with literally 1 second to go, and then it was a headshot and she was down, and that was it, and Lizzie won. So it was really, really brutal because I know she really wanted that gold medal, and the same thing happened. That was what happened in Rio. So hopefully she'll carry on to Paris and try again for the gold. But yeah, it's a real tough loss.
I mean, she didn't seem particularly impressed with the refereeing. Neither did Lou Taylor on the BBC coverage, and understandably so. She was given a lot of penalties.
It did seem. I mean, to be fair, the referees on the whole have been pretty solid in the taekwondo. But this time, even I was a bit like, I'm not sure. So, I mean, there's a little bit like nothing went her way, basically.
Yeah, the protests weren't going her way.
So yeah, a little bit of bad refereeing, and she did feel a little bit hard done by. But yeah, it's just one of those things where that's the nature of the sport. It is literally the last second it can still be lost.
Yeah, and I think probably it's unfortunate that she used her protest at the point she did, because she probably had a few more penalties that she probably could have successfully appealed. But then I think the point that her patience wore out was actually a genuine penalty.
Yeah, I think she played the thing more for a bit of a break, I think, because it was all not going her way, and I think she just needed to refocus.
Yeah.
So I think that's why she played the card thing, and then obviously did take the lead, and then just didn't happen, because she wasn't leading up until the last 30 seconds. She was never in the lead at any point, I don't think. So yeah, but then she did come back and win the bronze, which was good to see.
Yeah, in a very different feeling match, much lower scoring, but
Yeah,
I thought in many ways just a bit less sort of tense. I felt more relaxed watching that one.
yeah, I agree. There's when the score's changing quite a lot, you do feel a bit like ah. But yeah, that's the end of our taekwondo. So we didn't do too badly there, getting two silvers and a bronze.
Yeah, and so what was that? 3 of our 4 competitors getting medals there.
3 of our 5.
3 of our 5.
Yes, obviously Jade Jones didn't get a medal.
Yeah, but she's got 2 golds. I wouldn't say enough at home, but she's got plenty at home.
Yes, she's the only one who has got a gold. So.
And so, should we have? I haven't looked at the weightlifting. Should we have a look at that?
Yes, I mean I've looked at the results. I haven't seen it, but I think Zoe Smith didn't do as well.
Yeah, she underperformed in both the snatch and clean and jerk. Lots of failed attempts for her, so not a great competition for her. I think there are a few people in the B group who got a better total than she did. But then an Olympic title for Chinese Taipei.
And her first Olympic medal for Turkmenistan.
I didn't realise that was their first.
Yeah, exciting.
Yes. I've heard lots of... From what I understand, Turkmenistan's a very strange country. It's very much the North Korea of Central Asia.
Well, my podcast did chart in the podcast charts in Turkmenistan, so they're obviously listening to my podcast.
Big in Ashgabat.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was... Then I guess it was the other one, wasn't it? Was it Sarah Davis? Is that her name? Who was going... There's so many Brits to remember.
Yeah, so she came 5th, which... 5th place for a Brit in weightlifting. That's pretty impressive.
I want to say that might even be our joint best ever. I feel like Michaela Breeze got a 5th. Maybe in Athens or Beijing. So, yeah, if that's true, that's an incredible performance to be that high.
And gold for Canada. So I think with the amount of countries that are not able to compete in weightlifting at the moment, we've got some sort of fun-looking podiums here. But it's nice to see all these flags and these different colours.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like the pretty colours.
What else? The British men lost to hockey. We'll just mention that they lost to South Africa. No, Germany. Sorry, they beat South Africa. They lost to Germany. I think Kirsty Gilmore won her opening badminton bout.
Are they bouts in badminton? I was going to say, are they bouts in badminton?
I'm just used to saying bouts because all we've had is like martial arts so far. And I think the British guy won his as well. His name,
Toby Penty?
Yeah, he won it. And I think that's all we had in the badminton today.
The men's doubles lost to India in their group.
Oh yeah, that was today. I thought it was yesterday.
Yep.
So I think everyone's out except our mixed doubles pair and the 2 singles guys.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I've not followed the badminton closely.
Yeah, the mixed doubles pair are definitely in the quarters, and these guys have obviously won their first match. The singles pair, so.
And I have scrolled past it, so I think it's time that we discuss the gymnastics.
Yes, do it.
Absolute chaos there, where we had Simone Biles after one rotation having to pull out with some sort of medical reason, was what they'd said. Her vault didn't look amazing, although very impressive. She didn't stick the landing. It was a massive sort of jump. I don't know what you'd call it. Similar to what she was like on the floor the other day. So whether it's related to that, I've no idea.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll find out, but I think she still plans to compete if she's okay. She said she's going to take it day by day and see the doctors, and maybe she'll miss the individual all around, and maybe she'll just go for some of the apparatus finals. But hopefully we'll see more of these games. Yeah,
and hopefully she's okay. She was still on the podium, still doing interviews, so fingers crossed she's okay. And it was also
that
good to
attractive?
see her
Is that,
sort of,
is that attractive going past?
I
Or
don't know,
something?
it sounds like a street cleaner or something, but I don't know why they'd have
Okay.
like a street cleaner where I am.
But yeah, I guess we should probably mention that the Brits got a very surprise bronze medal.
Yes. So surprising that the television directors weren't really ready to show any of it.
No. I mean,
But
apparently, even on Eurosport, they were giving Italy the bronze, and oh no, actually, let's check the results. They didn't actually win the bronze because they didn't see it either. So yeah, it was between Russia and the USA. So they obviously showed a lot of that, which was kind of the right thing to do. They didn't realize the bronze would be that closely contested, but yeah, the rest of the countries must have had a bit of a shocker as well, because they dropped way out of contention.
yeah, I don't think I'd really even entertained the idea of a British medal in this. I
Me
was
either.
thinking, you know,
I thought
China,
fifth would have been our
USA,
top.
Russia, Japan,
Yeah,
and
again, I thought fifth would have been our top option,
yeah.
but
So yeah,
and
what
we slowly crept up because we were seventh and we were sixth and we were fifth, and then we were like, oh, we're third.
and yeah, what an
So weird.
achievement for such a young team.
Yeah, average age of about what 17 and a half, I think. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and of course, unfor- unfortunate that the USA weren't quite able to get to the point that they perhaps would have been with Biles at her full fitness, but
Yeah,
still
exactly.
an impressive performance for them to fill in where they needed to and still maintain the silver medal position.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
it's,
Russian Olympic Committee head and shoulders above the rest, I think, there. Oh, that's not what I wanted to press.
oh, impressed.
It's fine, it's fine. I was trying to get up the apparatus reports, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get some more success in the gymnastics. The men's all around final is tomorrow, so we'll keep our beady eyes on that.
Who do Britain have in the men's all around again?
Do we? I want to
Or
say
do
Joe
we?
Fraser's there, but
Okay.
I can't remember.
Right, let's see.
It's hard. It's so hard to keep track.
Yeah,
Feel
especially when
like he
there's so
is.
much to men's all around. Let's have a quick look. Let's start this. I just want the. Yeah, Joe Fraser. Don't know if we've got James Hall as well.
Okay.
And
Cool.
yeah. Oh yeah, nobody's starting on those two. So an interesting bunch. I mean, interesting that Joe Fraser's in the same rotation as the Russian athletes, who I think will be strong contenders, as well as the Chinese.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. See how he gets on. Hopefully he does well.
Yep.
We yeah we done the canoe slalom. I haven't done that yet. That was
We have
exciting. I really enjoyed
not.
that. I guess it was from I watched the qualification and that was pretty straightforward for those that were expected to be in the final. And then the final was just well, I don't know. So it was a bit dramatic. I mean, from a British point of view, it was pretty bad from the beginning.
Yeah.
Kimberly Woods just kind of literally really much hit the first gate, and then yeah, all sorts of penalties happened on the way down, and she was having a bit of a nightmare. So
It must mentally that must be sort of one of the most difficult things to contend with, knowing that you are way out of the medals, but you've somehow just got to get to the end of the course.
yeah, but then the real shocker was a Jessica Fox who's had her silver in London, a bronze in Rio. She's dominated the sport for so long, and she's the favourite for gold. And she hit one of the first posts in the penalties because she's so quick. Didn't affect her. She was still actually underneath the time. And then towards the end, she literally just got her chin on one of the bars, and then that was enough. That gave her another 2 second penalty, which, as you can see, cost her the gold medal. So the first penalty didn't really affect her, but the second one was the one that cost her the gold. So it's a shame because you obviously can see she does definitely have the quickest time.
Yeah.
So hopefully she'll carry on for Paris and try and get that gold because she's part of because her mum's French and represented France in the '96 Atlanta Olympics and got a bronze, and her dad's British and he represented Britain in the '92 Olympics in kayaking. So it's in her blood. So she's a huge star in Australia as well. She's one of their biggest stars in the Olympic sport.
And I think that is Germany's first gold medal of the games there. They won another one today, but I think
Yes.
Ricardo Funks was their first one. They'd been waiting a few days for that.
Yeah, they've been not too high up on the medals table.
Another
Do you want
one.
to do you want to do the next one they won?
Yeah, I was going to say another medal they won was in the dressage team. This didn't really look in doubt. They were number one in qualifying. They were leading all throughout, and their final performer, she was absolutely sort of head and shoulders above the rest. I imagine that she's going to be the strong favourite for the individual gold. Britain getting a bronze medal, a bit disappointing. We're in silver medal position for most of the running, but Charlotte's routine wasn't quite able to live up to the strength of the final American performer, who just gave them the edge over us in the final round. But nonetheless, that's Britain's. Britain have now won a gold, a silver, and a bronze in the team dressage, having never won a medal in any dressage event prior to 2012.
Good, good
Yeah.
stuff.
And
Yeah, nice.
would you like
Nice.
to wax lyrical about the tennis now?
Yes, I may as well. We have the men's are through to the round of 16, so that's like, obviously one more than it's the quarterfinals. So biggest shot from a British point of view was Liam Brody. It was incredible. He beat seventh seed Wimbledon semi-finalist just a couple of weeks ago. The guy who knocked Federer out of Wimbledon, and yeah, he won the first set 7-5 from 4-1 down. And that it was 4-1 down in that set. Came back and won it, and then lost the second set, and then took a massive lead in the third and just held on to win, which was by far the biggest win of his career. So, because he was literally the last one in the draw, he got the call up a couple of hours before the deadline. Literally 9 or 10 days ago, they had to Team TB had to approve it very quickly, and they had to get him out there. It was all last minute, so he literally was the last man in the draw, and now he's into the last 16, and he's playing Jeremy Chardy, the French guy, who's not seeded either in the next round, and he's actually Liam's sister Naomi Brody. That's his mixed doubles partner from Wimbledon. So, and he lives and trains in the UK, so he actually trains at the National Tennis Centre with Liam. So they've probably had a hit quite a few times. So it should be a good match, because if he wins that, he's in the quarters, which is ridiculous. And I guess the rest of the other in the men's draw favourites kind of went through. Like Nishikori, I guess, from a Japanese point of view, was the main hope for them. But they're still around behind the women. The women, we have our quarterfinals now. Big shock, obviously, in the women's draw was Naomi Osaka going out. So that's now the top 3 seeds that are out. Svitolina is the highest seed left, I think. So, yeah, big shock for Naomi.
Yeah, she won't be doing a Kathy Freeman moment. She won't be winning a gold in the same games as lighting the cauldron. So Kathy still is the only one to do that.
Yeah, which is it's nice for Kathy.
Yeah, I kind of don't want anyone else to take that title.
Yeah, but the women's draw is wide open now. It's completely up for grabs, because Pliskova lost as well. So there's quite a few big names that have fallen out. So Svitolina's the top seed, but she's never made it to a major final before. The only Grand Slam champion we have left in the draw is Muguruza. And then I guess the other ones to look out for are Pavlyuchenkova, who made the French Open final this year, and Belinda Bencic is floating around. But yeah, there's chances there for like some people to win medals that you would never have expected to win a medal. So, and then just to mention the men's doubles, obviously Andy Murray and Joe Salisbury, another straight sets win. They're into the quarterfinals, and they're playing the Croatians of Cilic and Dodig. And if they win that, they're in the semis, which means they most likely, fingers crossed, will get a medal. So that's definitely our best chance of a medal there.
Excellent. Well, hope. Are you saying that Liam Brody isn't going to be men's singles gold medalist?
To be honest, if he makes the quarters, why not? I think he's going to run into Zverev if he keeps going at this rate before the semis. So that'll be a tough one, because Zverev's playing really well. But yeah, and I guess we should mention the mixed draw has been finalised now, and unfortunately, Joe Salisbury and Heather Watson just missed the cut. They are the first reserves, so they are 17th. So if somebody might pull out, because both Spaniards are still in the singles draw, and they're both looking like they might have medal chances. So I don't know. There's usually a last minute withdrawal in the mix, so hopefully they can get in. But it does start tomorrow, so someone needs to withdraw at some point in the next 24 hours.
I mean, if there's ever been a an Olympics where we might see a last minute withdrawal, I think it might be these ones.
Yes, definitely.
Not that I'm wishing any COVID cases on anybody.
No, exactly. One of the Dutch players has already had to withdraw, so that's why there's no Dutch team in the mix.
Thinking we could have
and
just
I,
a quick look at the archery.
oh yes, that's the individual started today, didn't it?
Yes, Bryony Pittman got through the first 2 rounds, so she's into the round of 8 now, so that's looking good for her.
Quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'm not sure if it would tell us who she's up against next.
The British guy lost, didn't he?
Yeah, so Pittman's up against Osipova of the Russian Olympic Committee in the quarterfinals. It looks like the rest of the draw hasn't been fully done yet.
Yeah, I think they didn't quite finish everything, did they, or whatever, so I guess they'll be early morning, because that's obviously at 10:35, so
yeah,
that's quite late on, so... But it would be nice to get another archery medal. It's been since Athens, since we last had one.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Because what I find fascinating is that there was, for a period, just a run where the host country of the Olympics was just winning the men's archery gold. Kind of like the men's skeleton at the Winter Olympics. It was just going to them.
Until London 2012.
I think it stopped a bit before that, so it wasn't just us to end it.
And that was day 4 pretty much, wasn't it? I mean, I guess more of the same tomorrow in terms of what's going on.
I think we
mentioned the archery, we mentioned the gymnastics.
We've got rowing finals, I believe, tomorrow.
Yes, that's what's the main thing, is that they start around 1:15 a.m. There's an hour of that pretty much, so that's exciting. We've already mentioned the swimming, and obviously things are carrying on elsewhere. I don't think we've got, obviously the rugby sevens is finishing as well. And I don't think we've got many other dramatic things. Oh, we've got the cycling time trials. That's important.
Oh, yeah, they're always
Both
good fun to watch.
Yeah, both men's and women's. Men's is at 3:30, women's is at 6.
And
so
then,
I'm not sure I'll be sleeping much tomorrow.
Is it the men's all-around?
Yes, men's all-around gymnastics. Dressage individual, that's the same today, isn't it? Yes, dressage individual is at 9:30 in the morning. And I guess we should mention the men's 3-meter synchro diving, which is again at 7 a.m. And that's obviously Jack Law's defending champion. Now he's diving with Dan Goodfellow, who was the bronze medalist in the 10-meter platform in Rio. So fingers crossed they can get another medal.
I do find it interesting to seeing people go from the springboard to the platform. Of course, there's going to be a lot of overlap, but I do find that quite fascinating.
Yeah, but yeah, that's, I guess, from a British medal point of view, the rowing, the rugby sevens, the cycling time trial, the gymnastics maybe, and the diving, and the equestrian. So actually, it's looking like a pretty good day. Maybe more of a male-dominated day tomorrow, actually.
I mean, wow, so most of the medals won by Britain so far have been, the golds have all been male so far.
Yeah.
And 3 of the 4 have been involved a Tom. So if you're a British Tom right now, get on it.
That's what who was it? Dan Walker was saying. You know, Tommy Fleetwood in the golf and Tom Bosworth in the race walk. He was like, "Come on, guys, gold's on you."
Well, if Tom doesn't decide to just start running, then maybe he's got a chance.
Yeah. And I guess we should mention this has already been Britain's most successful start ever to an Olympics. In terms of, first 4 days, we've never been doing this well at this stage.
I suppose, it took until day 5 of London 2012 to get a single gold medal.
Yeah.
And,
cool.
Beijing started out a bit, slower than this. In the medal table, Britain in 5th with the 4 gold medals and 13 overall. 13 overall given sort of the medal predictions, that's looking quite healthy at the moment.
Yeah, Japan's still at the top. We said that I don't think those top 5 will change in terms of countries. Positions might. And then I guess Germany, they're the ones that have just have appeared suddenly in the top 10. So it's looking like a normal medals table now, like you say. And then Kosovo now slipped out of the top 10.
Yeah. But yeah, there's suddenly, if you didn't know sort of Kosovo were there and you just saw the ranking on a TV screen, you wouldn't know anything was up.
No, exactly. Cool. It's been a good day.
It has been a good day, and it's been fun chatting to you, Chris.
Yeah, you too.
And I'll see you same time tomorrow.
Yes, we'll see you tomorrow.
Sorry, I've gone really dark. Bye.